Alrighty, our very first guest speaker of the evening is gonna be the fearless, the one, the only, the Lindley McCutcheon. Let's give it up for Lindley. Woo! Guys, Lindley's gonna be talking to you today about closing mindset, and I'm really excited to see Lindley speak and hear Lindley speak about some goods today. So, Lindley, bring the goods.
Yay. So for closing mindset, it's honestly pretty simple. This is not a very technical talk, just so you guys know, like yes, take notes, but a lot of it is just more on understanding like how you CSP sell 13, 14K in a week or 400,000 in a week if you're Rob Robincheck. And all of it has to do with like confidence and your belief that the customer should have Cutco and deserves Cutco and that it's like the best financial decision they can make for their home. So I'm a numbers person, right? So I wanted to show some numbers. These are with our new prices. So this is even more than what the homemaker is for the next week, but I just figured we'd break down some homemaker numbers just so you all can see really like how attainable and like long-term affordable Cutco is. So homemaker is 1613 in full starting February 1st. That breaks down, including tax, including shipping, including the admin fee, to $350 per month on a 5-pay. So just over 5 months, that's less than $12 a day if you ended at 5 months. When you break it down, your customer is obviously going to have Cutco for a lot longer than 5 months, right? So let's say your customer is in their 50s. We're just assuming everyone lives till their 80s, knock on wood. Let's say your customer is in their 50s, they have it for 30 years. That's 16 cents a day, like on having a homemaker set. This isn't even like our average order of $400. Like for a homemaker, it's 16 cents a day. Over 40 years, say your customer gets it at 40, that's 12 cents a day to have a homemaker set. I mean, people spend so much more on, I'll show it on the next slide, but like 12 cents a day, that's like nothing. You lose a penny a day. Like you could open your wallet and lose 3 pennies or three dimes or whatever. And it's basically 3 days of having a homemaker for 40 years. And then, say your customer gets it when they're 30, they have it for over 50 years, they pass it down to their friends and family. It's less than 10 cents a day to have a homemaker set, right? So to put in perspective, we talk about this in training, but I think it's like one of the most important things to keep in mind when closing bigger orders is like your customers are so used to spending like dumb money, stupid money all the time. Like all the time. These are even more reasonable things, but like people spend stupid money on stupid things all the time. Like I was just telling Tarek, I was I was at like a Harry Potter thing this summer. I spent $50 to have videos and pictures of me on an animated broomstick. That was $50. It was like I was 20. Like I hadn't worked for the whole month. I had just been in school. Like I was not rolling in it. And I was like, great, here's 50 bucks on something stupid, right? Here's some screenshots of different studies that have been done, I think both by Numerator, just to sort of break down where our target market, which in this they're talking about suburban like women who like make 80K a year and are between the ages of 35 and 45. So that's basically our target market is who we're looking at. And those women are spending $3,000 a year on Costco. So you know how it was like, oh, okay, it's, 16 cents a day for 30 years for your homemaker set. In that same time that customers are spending 16 cents a day, they're spending $8 a day on Costco for 30 years. That's not something with a guarantee, nothing like that. That's $90,000 your customers are spending on your Costco trips over 30 years. And that's like if it's an average person. Like if you're talking to someone who has more kids, they're going to be going to Costco even more. If you're talking to someone who loves to shop, has 2 homes, who travels a lot, like they're going to be going to Costco even more. But like the average HM30 is spending $3,000 a year on Costco and their Costco trips. Similarly, we'll average out the numbers for men and women here. Again, this is just another reason to talk to Mrs. Jones over Mr. Jones if you only get your pick of one. But let's say on average, the average American is spending $2,000 a year on coffee. Again, over 30 years, that's like $60,000 that they're spending on coffee that literally like is being used and consumed and like totally out of commission in like a few hours. Like people are getting multiple cups of coffee, like spending this kind of money all the time. So when you break it down from the homemaker even down to our average order of $400, like Cutco is nothing compared to that. And not like I'll get into it in the next slide, but like here's more numbers. 400 being our average order, that breaks down to $91 per month on a 5-pay. if they just pay for it over 5 months. That's already only $3 a day. Like, that's already ridiculous. Again, $3 a day, that's something you can lose. Like, you can pay that on like an ATM fee, $3 a day. Over 30 years, that's $15 a year, which is crazy. That's like less than a month of Netflix, less than a month of Amazon Prime, like a year on an average order, like on $400. Over 40 years, that's $11 a year. Over 50 years, that's $9 a year. And that's when it breaks down to like stupid money. It's 2.5 cents a day over 50 years to have like your average order. And then even if you think about, I didn't put this on a slide, but even if you think about a trimmer, like one trimmer over 30 years, I think it ended up being like half a cent, like half a cent a day to have a trimmer, like buying it today. And again, these are the same people who are spending $3,000 a year on Costco and $2,000 a year on coffee, right? So like the main thing to keep in mind when you're talking to customers is like your customers are going to benefit. Like, first of all, this like money is really a drop of the bucket for them. Like, this is something they're going to use every single day. I know for me, I've been there before. Like, if I have an order that's like already a bigger order, like already over 1,000 CPO, like I know what it's like to be nervous to ask for more, or to be nervous to show the accessories and be like, oh my God, it's already been an hour. I don't know if I have time to show them accessories, or, oh, they said no to the homemaker and the galley and the starter sets. They're going to say no to a wish list, right? Like, it's best for your customer to know everything that we have and everything that we carry. You never know what your customers need. So show everything, and keep in mind that like knowing everything Cutco has to offer and owning Cutco really is the best thing for your customer. I mean, you guys have probably experienced this on your demos, but like customers can tell when you're trying to help them versus when you're trying to help yourself. And when you like really truly believe that every client is better off and will have a better experience at home with Cutco, you're going to sell a lot more. Even ignoring like their personal benefit from it, Cutco brings them a profit too. Like, it's one of the things that they'll buy that will actually like make them money because they're going to cook more at home, right? They're not going to eat out as much. They're not going to feel like, oh my God, it's 8 p.m. I just got out of work. I just want to Uber Eats because I don't feel like cooking. It's going to suck. When they have Cutco, it's going to make it a lot easier. They're going to cook healthier things too. I've had so many customers tell me like, yeah, we love pineapple, we love butternut squash, but we don't eat it because it's too hard to cut. So what's easier? Frozen pizza, right? Or like Lunchables for their kids, right? So they're going to eat a lot healthier. They're going to have the proper tools to cut it, so they're more inclined to buy it. Again, they're going to eat out less. They'll spend more time as a family at home when there are home cooked meals, as opposed to ordering out or having kids go find something on their own. They enjoy being in the kitchen. They don't dread having to use their knives at the end of the day. And one of the things that I heard from Q, he started working with Seth Kinzer, who is like besties with Burt Wicks, who you saw beat all of those records. Is one of the things that Seth Kinzer says is that Cutco is going to be the only thing like in your client's home that they're going to have for over 30 years that's going to increase in value as opposed to decrease. Like, anything else in your customer's home at all is going to decrease in value, is going to need, you know, a lot of paid refurbishment, a lot of paid repair. And Cutco's the opposite. So hopefully, like how you guys can like feel on Zoom here, when the customers feel your belief in the product and in the price of the product, and not just in your belief in the product, but also your belief that the product will make their lives better, they can really feel it. So have genuine enthusiasm, listen to them, build cooking rapport, which if you don't know what that is, talk to Jacob. It's really simple. But it's all about your belief in product and, you know, how they'll be better off with it, because they aren't buying the product, they're buying your belief in it and your belief in it for them. So that's what I had to share. I hope that was helpful.
Fantastic. Let's give it up for Lindley.
Jeremiah, question?